York's classic rock, Q1043.
The Ramones here at Q1043, and Adam Ferrara is with us.
Yay!
Yes, I was not in the Ramones.
How was Shelley's coffee this morning?
It's kicking in.
Okay.
It's kicking. What is this stuff called again?
Well,
Crystal
I make
what?
it in the
Yeah. What?
Crystal DeLonghi.
Crystal DeLonghi. Yeah.
I make it in the DeLonghi.
Yeah. Was that the machine that it's in, or
Yes,
or a euphemism?
No, that's the
No.
machine.
Some camper in the desert. You're making it in.
You're a car guy.
I am, yes.
Obviously, you know.
Yes, I was just talking to Shelley. She wants a TR6 now.
not me.
What's a TR6?
It's a Triumph.
Triumph?
Yeah, 2-seater convertible.
I
Pretty
want to give my husband, if I could afford it, the car, his first car, the one that his dad was smart enough to give him before he could drive, because he had to fix it up, which kept John out of trouble
Right.
when he was starting to get into trouble.
Okay.
But I can't. I think it's a TR3, right?
TR3's that's old. That's the TR6
trying
was
to
like
fig-
77. It's very early 70s. I think went up to 76. I'm not really sure, but
But that's-
TR3 is that's older, like those old.
I'm emailing him now to figure
Okay,
out
fine.
which one. But they're expensive, Jim.
Well, I would imagine it's a classic, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Triumph?
A Triumph.
It's not just a Canadian band.
There's the advertising.
That's right.
slogan.
Right.
We're not just a Canadian
We're not just
band.
a Canadian band. We can get you to and from work. It's like I got an old Buick. I was showing you a picture of my old Deuce and a Quarter.
Yeah.
But Buicks, they were traditionally driven by older people, so I always thought like the slogan should be Buick, how's your hip? You know, I was like, Buick, I said Buick.
Yes, but you know, when General Motors culled their brands, Buick survived.
You know why?
They said goodbye to Oldsmobile. They said goodbye to Pontiac.
Which pissed me off. But you know
Yeah.
why Buick survived?
Why?
China. They sell a ton of them in China. So
Oh.
when GM said, "Look, we got to, we're going out of business if we don't get rid of this stuff," they were making all kinds of money in China. So that's
I wonder why.
the Chinese like the Buicks. I don't know.
Couldn't believe, though, they got rid of Pontiac.
I know.
You know.
I know. I mean, Smokey and the Bandit. How do you not just for that? So
Well, wide track and Pontiac and the
Yeah.
GTO and
get on your Pontiac and ride,
yeah,
baby.
that's right.
Yeah, that was Smokey and the Bandit. So Burt Reynolds does it. Sales of the Trans Am go through the roof. So the president of GM says, "Burt, you get a brand new Pontiac. You get a brand new Trans Am every year. Thank you so much." They change heads like when the third generation came out. They get a new head over at GM. Burt calls up and goes, "Where's my Pontiac? Where's my?" He goes, "Yeah, we're stopping that."
Oh.
So
Oh.
Burt doesn't get it anymore.
Well. Anyway, I wanted to ask you about
Yes,
this
sir.
because yesterday I went to 20th Century Bikes in Oyster Bay
Okay.
to meet up with Billy Joel.
Right. That's a
And-
good day.
And we recorded a conversation which will be on the air at this time tomorrow morning. But I'm there in the bike shop, and he, it's mostly all bikes, but there's also this awesome Jaguar there.
Nice.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yes.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
But I say it Jaguar.
Right.
And-
Because you're from the colonies.
And there's an old it was a Chevy truck, right, Chris? A Chevy truck. But I don't know if this is some deep psychological nutcase thing inside of me.
What?
I'm surrounded by all of these beautiful motorcycles and everything. But what I loved when I walked into the store,
Right.
he had old gas pumps in there.
Oh yeah.
He had a
He had
a Sunoco gas pump,
the bubble tops.
and he had a Sinclair gas pump.
the
and he-
green one. It was green and red.
Yes, and he had a gigantic, huge mobile Pegasus hanging there.
A Texaco.
And this, no, the Texaco's
Texaco
the Star.
Star, yeah.
That's Texaco Star. But I was just focusing on these gas pumps. I mean, they were like creating all kinds of weird nostalgia because these were the pumps that were in the gas stations when I was a little
Yeah,
boy.
when you're a kid, like your hard drive is like, nothing's been written on it yet. So it's amazing what you gravitate towards, and some of it can be gas pumps and stuff. You know what really soothes me? The sound of the dishwasher, because that meant my mother was done cleaning the kitchen, and she was done, and it was story time.
Aww.
Yeah, so I still remember that when I was a kid. Yeah. Now my mom just screams at me like, "You gonna help me clean?" I went to see her. She's out east on Long Island, right? And
Yeah.
she's in a gated community because apparently she must be kept under guard, my mother. Otherwise, she's going to spread lasagna and guilt all over the neighborhood. And the guy who's in... First of all, the guard is just as old as my mother. So how secure... And people that have just that moment of power and they're going to lord it over you?
Yeah.
This guy actually said, halt. He said halt.
He said halt.
Because I tried to draw, because I see him every week when I'm in town. Halt. He's like, halt, Larry? Really? He's like, state your business. I'm like, the cream isn't working on my mother's feet. Her feet are still itchy, Larry, and there's a blister by the little piggy that went to market. This is my business. You want to come in and help me with my mother's feet? He's like, all right, you can pass.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's Adam.
She just got a car, too.
Adam
What'd she
Ferrara
get?
is
She
with
got
us.
rid of her Cadillac finally. She got a little Rogue, so she's up a little bit higher. But she doesn't drive much anymore. What kind of Jag did Billy have?
Excuse me.
What's that?
I just was swallowing my coffee the wrong way.
She'll kill you. Shelly will kill you with this coffee. You got to be careful.
Yeah, well,
No, he won't drink my coffee. That's why he's going to die.
no, but I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were going to ask me a question, so I had a mouthful of coffee. So
I'm sorry about that.
Excuse me.
What kind of Jag was it?
I don't know. It was a beautiful old one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Jim's
know.
not a car freak.
Okay, so when I was a kid, we used to go trick or treating. You'd go to the rich kids' neighborhood because you got the full size candy bars rather than the little ones. And there was an XJ6.
It looked like it was from the 1950s.
Yeah.
But I don't know what model.
Yeah.
It
Did it have
was.
leather straps on the hood? Steve McQueen had a '56 Jag that he raced in Le Mans, and
Leather straps
Yeah,
on the hood?
yeah, it held the hood down. I got a picture on my phone.
It
It's just
looked-
not good radio if I'm showing you pictures
Right.
on my phone.
It looked like someone had made it by hand.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it looked like.
It was probably a '56 Jag. Steve McQueen had one, and I saw it. He raced at Le Mans, and they turned it into a street car here, and they got it at the Peterson Museum.
You know, like it wasn't an XKE.
No.
It wasn't one. It was, you know.
No, it wasn't like the one the dentist had. This was like an old,
Right,
yeah.
right.
But the XJ6s were the one I saw as a kid, and it was beautiful. And I would take the long way home from school just to see the car every day because it was
Supertramp
gorgeous.
song.
Yeah, and it never moved because the electrical systems are crap. It never ran. It just looked good sitting there.
Well, you, Mr. Movie Star,
Yes.
you've got a new film coming out, and one of the stars of the film is somebody that we know, a good friend of ours, Danny Aiello.
Danny, sweetheart.
Oh, he's a
Sweet
really
man.
nice guy.
He really is.
You know, considering he's an Oscar-nominated actor that's
Yeah.
been in a ton of movies,
Uh-huh.
he couldn't be nicer, and he actually is our friend. We're not exaggerating.
Yeah.
And but it's also starring a bunch of other big-name people.
Yeah, Emma Roberts is in it. Hayden Christensen, Alyssa Milano plays my wife. Andrea Martin plays my mother. It's called Little Italy, and it's coming out. It gets a limited 10-city release in September 21st.
Who does Jane Seymour play?
Oh, Jane Seymour's in it too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's basically it's Romeo and Juliet with two warring pizza families, and I play Lord Capulet. So, and Jane Seymour is actually she plays the.
You're right. It is Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Because
I read the script, Jim. I was in the thing.
well, there are people
You're
who.
a stunt. You're right.
Yeah, but there
You're
are
absolutely right.
He did this to Peter Fonda too. We got
did?
into a fight with him.
You got in a fight with Peter
said,
Fonda?
I was there. I know. I was there with Easy Rider. You weren't.
Yeah, I got into a fight. I got into a
hilarious.
fight with him, but I was right.
Jim, stop it.
But I was.
gotta
Don't
hear the
argue
story.
with
Listen,
Peter
I'll plug my
Fonda.
album later. I got to hear the story. You
No,
pissed
I'll
off
tell you
Peter
the story
Fonda.
later.
Pissed off Peter Fonda, but he stayed. He didn't walk out.
I'm
young-
not leaving. I got to hear this
A
story.
young couple must navigate a blossoming romance amidst a war between their families' competing pizza restaurants.
That's it. Yes. Okay, that's my movie. Now tell me what you did. To
and
Peter
that's
Fonda.
and that's coming out in September.
How'd you piss off Peter Fonda?
It was about music.
It
from
was
Easy Rider.
about the single, the
Right.
45 RPM hit single.
I can't believe we're doing this again. Adam, I'm going to kill you.
You brought it up.
What?
You brought it up, Shelley.
No, because you're arguing with Adam about his own movie.
That's how big this fight is. It's spreading to me.
I didn't
It went
argue.
through Peter Fonda.
I didn't
Easy
argue.
Rider.
I didn't.
My movie.
I didn't argue with him. I said you're right. That's what it is. I was agreeing with him because
Okay.
as I looked at the summary of the film, he's right. It's a Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
I was
What do you
agreeing
know?
with him.
Yeah.
I wasn't fighting with Adam.
Okay.
I would never fight with Adam
But you would
You
fight with
weren't
Peter
there with
Fonda. What'd you
Easy
tell
Rider.
him?
because he was wrong.
Okay.
You can't tell him he was wrong. He was there.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he was there, but
Jim!
how high was he? Come on.
Well, that's a different
Yeah.
story.
So high that he inspired John Lennon to write, "I know what it's like to be dead."
Oh, wow.
You
No,
know?
he did.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he almost died when he was 15.
John Lennon or Peter Fonda?
Peter Fonda, so he happens to mention that while
Right.
they're all getting high
While
on
they're
LSD.
on acid.
Right.
And then it becomes part of a Beatles song.
John wrote "She Said, She Said."
And
Yeah,
Peter
because
did
of
that.
what Peter
Yeah.
Fonda said. Because
Okay,
he almost
and
died.
was that what the fight was about?
No,
No.
that
No.
was we
No.
never got into that.
No, it was
Never
about
got
the
to that.
Ballad of Easy Rider.
Okay.
But Peter would know he was there.
Except he was wrong.
Stop it! You can't say. I can't
still don't know
believe
what
we're
he was
still
wrong
talking
about.
Okay,
that.
here's the deal.
Okay, go ahead.
The hit single recording
Yes.
called The Ballad of Easy Rider.
Right.
It was a hit. It's in Billboard magazine.
Okay.
It's all on the charts.
That doesn't mean it's right.
It was credited to the Byrds.
Okay.
Okay, he said, no, it wasn't the Byrds. It was just Roger McGuinn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you said you want to take it outside.
No, Roger McGuinn.
No, he takes out the book
Oh, he's got
to
the book.
show him. And Peter says, well, I think I should know I was there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but not only the book, the photograph of the album cover, The Ballad of Easy Rider, The Byrds.
Okay. All right, fine. Look, you got to piss off Peter Fonda. Don't piss off David Crosby. He's got a gun. So,
Not anymore.
not anymore?
No, he doesn't carry
Or a
anymore.
liver.
Yeah. Well, no, he's got a
He's
new
got
one.
the liver?
Yeah.
He's got the new liver,
Yeah.
He's- yeah.
Adam Ferrara's here. I don't know why we're talking about this stuff. We're supposed to be plugging his new comedy album.
Yes.
We'll get into that later here at Q1043. On here at Q1043, Adam Ferrara is with us, and Shelley just got an email from a listener. Apparently, you never did tell us what role Jane Seymour plays in the new film Little Italy.
Well, I got distracted with the Peter Fonda imbroglio. She plays like a powerful restaurateur that I don't want to say the end of the movie, but she works for Emma Roberts works for the beginning of the film.
All right. Well, this ties into the quote from Dennis Leary.
Go ahead.
Adam Ferrara is a great comedian, but he's really pissing me off now because he's become such a great dramatic actor.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
That's my pal. Yeah. Well, you know what? Dennis actually gave me the opportunity to do that. I mean, he's look. I'll deny I said it, but I love this skinny Irish bastard, and he gave me the opportunity to do that stuff. You know, him and Peter Tolan, when they wrote that character for me, and I got to do a bunch of dramatic stuff. So.
And you're loving it, huh?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, just to be able to look what we do for a living. This is just so much fun to be able to do it. So to be able to do comedy and drama. Plus, with my ADD, I can't focus on anything for too long. So this
Well,
is nice.
that would be great since movie scenes that they film are like 9 seconds.
Yeah, well, it's like the movie. There was 6 weeks. We were in Toronto. You shoot that, so you come together, and then you go, and then you're gone, and you're on to the next thing.
No, I just think that it's interesting the way that they make them because you'll be having a conversation, but nobody's there.
Yeah.
It's just they'll be doing like reaction shots of your face and this and that. And
Well, no, they're usually there. But the cameras will be here when they shoot your coverage, and
learn all those
two
different things and techniques. I mean, it's such a different thing from going out on stage.
Yeah, it's nice because you're sharing the space with somebody. But when you're on and stand up, it's like it's immediate reaction. So that the adjustment from doing a single camera movie to like multi-camera sitcom because there's an audience there was weird. I remember the first time I did it, the first scene I ever did in a single camera environment. It was a funny scene. I hit my punchline. Director, okay, good, moving on. I'm like, that's it? Where's the applause? Somebody needs to love me now. I need reinforcement.
Well, I mean, as a stand-up comedian, Carnegie Hall, Radio City Music Hall.
I got to play all that
the
stuff.
Apollo, we've talked about this before, The Tonight Show, 3 Comedy Central specials. A headliner, you're successful, you're a star, but you have lived the life of the opening act.
Oh, yeah. I opened for you. The worst gig you can get is opening for a band because nobody wants to see you. Nobody wants to see. I opened for Lionel Richie at the Greek Theater. Wow. There's no roof. I mean, how do you do comedy with no roof? And so I do the gig. It's 20 minutes. I don't know if I'm doing well or not. I just hung around because I wanted to hear Brick House. And it was so I finished the gig, and Sheila E. was in the band once. So I walk off stage, and the whole band was over on the side watching me. And they're clapping. So I guess I did okay, but I couldn't hear anything. And Sheila gave me a hug, and the big bass player, I forget his name, he goes, "You did great. Usually we stand here just to watch these guys die."
And you opened for George Carlin.
I did. That was great. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Carlin was great. I was at the Comedy and Magic Club, and I was supposed to headline the whole weekend. And I got a call from Mike Lacey, who runs my manager, called me and said, "Mike's got to bump your weekend, but he said you can open." And right away, my ego kicks in. Open? At the comedy man, what sword swallow is bumping me? I don't open for anybody. Who's bumping me? And they said, George Carlin. I'm like, does he need a ride? Can I pick him up at the hotel? So I picked him up and naturally took the gig. And you can't go into the green room to see George. It's his space. So you don't go see it. So I finish my set. I walk off. The MC goes back on. And there's this little silver beard in the. I just see this and his little eyes. And he's a little fella. And he's like, you're funny. And I'm like, and you're Carlin. And I shook his hand, and he was quoting back jokes and everything. And it was like, he was aware of his position. And he was very gracious. And we just started talking. And he missed his intro.
What?
He's like, is that me? I go, it ain't for me, George. You better get out there.
Adam Ferrara is with us. We'll be back in a few here at the Q. First, we've got to find out what's going on in the world.
Boy, you read a lot.
Steven Tyler's book.
Tell me about the male Christmas tree, Jim. Well, it has balls. That's why it's the male Christmas tree.
They're different kind of cones.
I understand.
They have different kind of cones.
I never heard this before.
Who said that?
The
Cones?
scientists.
On a Christmas tree. Different kind of cones.
Different kind of cones.
Okay. All right. You learn so much when I come here. I was just going to plug my album. Now I'm going to go home, and I'm walking. I'm going to walk home and look at all the trees. Well, there's a nice fella.
We'll be back
Hi, honey. How are you?
We'll be back to plug the
Love
album.
the plumage.
Please, I need a botanist or somebody to back me up here.
Oh, no.
There's got to be somebody who studied botany who can back me up here.
888-872-1043 or text us at 22143.
We'll be back to plug the album next. Okay, we only have 3 minutes for the shameless plugging of everything Adam Ferrara.
That's right. Unconditional is the new album. Go to my website.
But please.
Where do bushes come from? Well, when two trees love each other.
Just wait a second. Adam.
Yes.
The comedy album was at one time a staple of American popular culture.
Yes.
Okay, it really was.
Yes.
There were albums sold millions of copies.
Absolutely. Eddie Murphy's album was great.
And I mean, I think
Carlin Pryor.
Didn't Bob Newhart get the album of the year?
Button Down
did.
Mind. Yeah, it was great.
You know, but it's been kind of a lost art.
Back.
But you're bringing it back.
It's back. Not me. It's back. There's a whole. And I wanted to make it a double album because it's easy to open it up and then you clean your weed. You know, because it gives you a little push.
Adam.
Sorry.
Adam. The album is called
Unconditional.
Sometimes Love is a Pain in the Ass.
Yes, it is.
And you and your dog are on the cover.
Yes, we are.
And those cones that the dogs wear when they come back from the vet, you're wearing a human-sized one.
I am, because I didn't want my dog to feel uncomfortable.
But it is, I mean, this is exciting news. Now, you also have it available in vinyl?
Yes, it will be. They're going to press it in vinyl, which is really cool. Because it's really cool for me because it's like it's romantic, you know.
Right.
Like it's an album, you know. It's not just sitting there going, well, they recorded me and you can download it. No, it's an album. So,
Right.
So it'll be out in vinyl too.
Right. You can download it, but you can get the actual.
Right now you can download it, but it will be out in vinyl. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, available for pre-order on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon, and of course everybody can go to AdamFerrara.com.
Yes.
Now, wait a minute. I have an answer about the plants in the mail.
Oh, what do we got?
From Joe on Staten Island. Can't believe Jim is right. Pine trees have male and female pine cones, and they actually reproduce. They actually have more sex than most people.
Really?
I've
never seen trees laying down. I've never seen.
They do it standing up.
They do it standing up.
Yeah.
Like at a truck stop. Hurry up. I got to get back on the road. What?
We've got to shamelessly plug. We're running out of
let's
time.
go.
So what else? So you've got the movie Little Italy. When
Yes,
will that be
comes
open?
out on September 21st. A 10-city release in theaters and on demand the same day. We plug in the album
And what else? Any shameless plugging? This is the last
This is the last opportunity I got. I'm going to plug those two things, and I want to hear more about how pine trees do it.
The male pine
Stop it.
cone.
This is all you
two
remember
trees
from
slow
science.
dancing. All right, I've never seen this holding
Holding
branches.
hands, yeah.
None
Adam.
of that stuff.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you, my
Thank you,
friend.
It's
Adam.
always good to see you, and thank you for coming by when you're in town. We
Yeah.
love having you here.
Always
We
love
do.
seeing you guys. You be well.
New York's classic rock. Q1043.